Hello, today's topic of conversation is market research. A simple definition of market research is a process of collecting data, analyzing it, and presenting it. The purpose of market research is to enhance our decision making. It's one of the most fundamental tools within the marketing arsenal. Now, the main factors when we considering starting a market research, obviously, as usual, is the cost, especially in a traditional way, as most of market research surveys are physically done, and that would increase the cost quite heavily. Other factors are type of information we need, identifying this information, what type of information it is, the availability, how quickly we need this information, and how accessible the relevant populations are that we're going to go and ask them these questions to get the feedback. Now, we're going to move into the online marketing research rather than the traditional one. The main advantages, the strength of the online marketing research is first the speed is a lot faster. Obviously, the cost effectiveness of it, as it has got a very little physical resource requirement, is a lot more cost effective. There are many tools available to conduct such researches. There is no geographical boundary, for example, for it. With regard to the secondary data, again, we would have a much more up-to-date information, as most websites' informations are updated day to day, rather than compared to a printed survey material and whatever, which are annually or every month is done. So we'd have much more up-to-date information when we're doing a survey on the internet. Also, the technology would allow you to do the concept testing. Let's say, for example, you're designing an ad, and before spending millions of dollars or pounds or whatever to put it on the TV, you can launch it on YouTube and see how the response are and test the response from people, as you can ask people to put comments on it or say like it or not, so you can get a very good feedback on it before spending a large sum of money and buying a normal media for it. Now, there are weaknesses as well. One of the biggest weaknesses is identifying the right population sample. It's a lot more difficult to do that. When you're doing with regard to secondary data, not everything which is published on the web one can assume is correct. So the validity and the integrity of data is sometimes goes under question. It lends itself to more quantitative sort of research rather than qualitative. Subject like if you want the body language or eye contacts and these sort of things when you're doing a physical market survey, which you can identify and take a record of it, is much more difficult to do it, obviously, when somebody is doing it online. But it's more convenient. People can sit at home and fill in the form. But again, that goes against you in a way of the people select themselves to do the survey, right? And you choose them. And so that might create a bias in your population sample. All of these can be taken into account and be adjusted when you're analyzing the survey results anyhow. You can use it for customer research to identify what are the new needs, the satisfaction surveys from your customers, corporate image building and see how the corporate image is perceived out there. The product usage itself, is it used in a manner which you intended or is it used in other ways? You will find that amazingly quite often it happens that the product can be used in a different way. You can use it, as I suggested, for advertising development, testing your advertising product before it going out. Now, within the market research, you are looking at two types of data. One is the primary data, which can be either quantitative or qualitative. These are the kind of information which is first-hand and you are gathering. We will look at the secondary data in a minute. You can get your primary data, as we suggest, with the online survey, by email questionnaires. You can have a web-based questionnaire on your site. You can offer some incentive for people to do it. Also, then you can move into much more interactive way of doing it by using the chat rooms and social networks. You can also conduct the online focus group, which would identify a sample population and put them together within an online group. It can be a chat room, discussion forums, or one of the social network systems, and conduct a much more interactive communication with them. Now, the secondary data is a type of data which is gathered not by you, by third party. Now, these can be government statistics, the censuses, and published surveys, which is done by others. These are usually all available on internet as well, which you can find them. The other type of secondary data is the internal data of the company, which is like sales record, customer list, the geographical spread, and so on. So those usually available. Nowadays, most companies have got a computer system which is online as well, and these data and information are collected and automatically analyzed, and you get a feed immediately coming into your research system. The online research community as well is there. If you look at the WWW, the World Wide Web original technology, which was you put your website on, it was mostly your audience, the people can have a passive viewing of what is on your website, just so you can read it and understand what it is and go page by page. Nowadays, the Web 2.0 technology is about the interactivity of your sites, using like social medias and other interactive systems which allow the audience, the viewer, the reader to participate, put comments in, say, I like this, I don't like that, put videos in, and also you come back and answer them. So that allows a continuous feedback into your research data. Now, also there are like Google Trends. Google Trends, you can go on it and check, for example, any keywords you want to see is the usage, the volume, the volume of the patterns which is coming on the specific regions or categories, or the time frames. Get all those information so you can fine tune the kind of words you're going to use in both for your questionnaires and also as tags for your articles and other things you're putting out there. Also, Google Analytics is there, which it would give your website traffic statistics. So you can see who is coming on it, where they're coming from, a lot of geographical information beside the statistical information. As we discussed, the focus group, you can develop and use the social network for putting your sample population group together to identify what's their perceptions, what their opinions and beliefs, by having a two-way communication. Now, that was a quick review of market research. At the end of the day, remember, it is the questionnaire you put out there which is important, to make sure that the questions you are raising would come with the answer, the kind of answers you want to identify your client requirements, to be able to help you within that decision making within the marketing program. I hope to see you later on at the next talk. For time being, I say goodbye.